Anthem show. We're on there at 9 o'clock on every weekday night, taking calls about the Jazz.
Sandy in royal blue. We're half crazy over the love of you, and things they are really perfect when we beat the Glasgow Celtic, and you look so sweet with the ball at your feet as you give us a goal or two. Sandy, Sandy, Sandy in royal blue. We're half crazy over the love of you, and things they are really perfect when we beat the Glasgow Celtic, and you look sweet with the ball at your feet as you gave us a goal or two.
Well, hello, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Ox, here on the panel this night is my mate, Bridgeman. Evening, Bridge.
Oh, good evening to you, Ox Chair. Can I say a big good evening to the boys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world? Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
Unbelievable, really. Before we go into today's event, 6 years ago today, we lost the late, great legend that was Sandy Jardine, Bridgeman.
Oh, yeah, he was wonderful. He was marvellous. And a gentleman to boot. You know, I was watching somebody put into the, I think it was into Follow. Oh, yeah, the wee WhatsApp group. And they put in the coloured film of that great goal he scored. Same day Cooper scored his great goal as well. Was it a driver cup final?
He ran for the edge of his box, mate.
That's right. And it was in colour. It was fantastic to see, you know. Brilliant. That's
and
lovely.
if the 3 goals were in it, the little boy from Drumchapel scored no a
John McDonald, that's right, John McDonald. Polaris. Was it Polaris they called him?
John McDonald's actually working on the front line at the moment. He's working in the hospitals, mate.
Is he?
Aye, he is, mate. So all our wishes and thoughts go to John, mate, who's on the front line. I mean, they didn't earn the money back then that they earn now, mate.
No, of course.
You know? But the late, great Sandy Jardine, one of the most intelligent football players ever to play with our club, and I mean that on the park, mate. I'm no...
I can't disagree with anything you've said there. Yeah, a very intelligent player, a really good player, multi-talented, played in, I would imagine, every part of the field, in all probability. Really good, really good.
Started as a centre forward,
That's
mate.
correct. I remember him with a big curly hair as well, you know, big mop of curly hair. Amazing. It's brilliant. He was just a great, and by the way, a great fan of Rangers. He was a big Rangers fan.
Mm-hmm.
And that match he did for Ibrox was just outstanding.
Would you say that in the mid-70s, Bridge, he'd be up there with the finest players in his position in the world?
It wouldn't be far away because, you know, it was a fantastic right back. I mean, really was a great right back. How do you say it? Them across the city claimed that they had Danny McGrain. It was the best right back, but in fact, McGrain was playing left back at an international level, you know. So what do you call him? Sandy Jardine was most assuredly an accomplished fullback, and very experienced. He looked an experienced player on the ball, plenty of time, tons of experience. A marvellous player, marvellous player for us.
All right. The late, great Sandy Jardine gone. Will never be forgotten at Rangers Football Club. Obviously, we've got 2 stands named after people, and one's Bill Struth and the other one's Sandy Jardine. So it just shows you the affection that he's held in our great club, Bridge.
Indeed, pal. I mean, like the fans just loved him. They just loved him, and they understood when he went away, and they understood everything that was going on. But they supported Sandy Jardine all the way through his career. all the way through his career. And I believe sincerely, much the same as Sandy Jardine supported Rangers, he's one of the few Rangers players that's ever left Rangers and never bad-mouthed them. I've never heard them bad-mouthing them. And a very, very few Rangers players will do that because they always end up getting, shall we say, baited into saying something, and it ends up egg on their face and things like that. So, and Sandy Jardine's never done. Very well controlled, pal. Very controlled.
Very tickle, man. I had the pleasure of meeting him a few times, Bridge.
You're a lucky man.
No stories to tell.
Oh.
But what I would say was I found him very engaging and enjoyed his company, and very, very modest man when I had the privilege to meet him. But what a great player! And this, somebody that I grew up watching him play, but sadly missed and took phase far too young. And I think with a certain generation of supporters, mate, they'll remember him as a player. And then there'll be another generation that will remember him as somebody who fought for the club, yeah?
Yeah. I think, in all honesty, I believe anyway, Sandy Jardine, if he had went past, if he'd managed to stay with us, he would have walked onto our board. Absolutely walked onto our board. Well, held himself well, as I say, a bear to every breath in his body was a bear. And he would have done well on our board. Very intelligent and articulate person.
Made his debut against Hearts, considering he was brought up a Hearts supporter, in 1967, February 1967, and he played up to 1982. Scottish Cup final was his last game against Aberdeen.
It was Ibrox, wasn't it? Against Hearts. When he played for the Rangers.
Yes, we won 5-1 against Hearts.
Yeah, I'm sure it was at that game. I'm positive it was at that game.
That was a week after Berwick, I believe.
It was a few weeks after.
685 appearances for the club, 28 as sub, 84 goals, 30 penalties, one red card.
One red card.
One red card against.
I wonder what the red card was for.
In 1971.
Was it with Rangers then? Aye.
1971. Yeah, and 3 yellows, which was against Celtic twice. Both games we lost. One a game I'll never forget in 1979. We'll not talk about that. Dukla Park, and I remember that. Tom Demour in the second leg at Ibrox in 1982. So Sandy Jardine, 3 yellow cards, 2 against that mob. Wore his heart on his sleeve. Great footballer, great guy, great personality, legend, gentleman, and sadly missed, Bridge.
Absolutely, pal. Absolutely. Well remembered too. Well remembered. Fondly remembered. I think as we start talking about right backs and right-sided players for us, Sandy Jardine's always at the tip of people's tongues who knew him as a player, like you've seen him as a player, because he was one of the best fullbacks we'd had.
All right, Bridge. I don't want to be disrespectful to Sandy, but there's been a lot of things broke today. Friday seems to be the day everything seems to happen, Bridge. Is it Friday?
It's Friday, yeah.
This training the government's giving us for retirement, mate, I don't know how you handle it, mate. I don't know what day of the week it is. All the days are the same.
I love it.
How do you work your week suit now? Is it, you go to Mass on a Sunday, so the day after that.
Oh dear. What a shocker.
Is that how you work it?
Oh, what a shocker.
Oh, by the way, I get contacted by a lawyer this morning.
Oh, aye.
Aye, mate, aye. I got a lawyer. First time ever, mate. Aye. Right, here we go.
And what was it wanting?
It's about something on the show, mate.
Oh, no.
Dear Son and Madden, one went on Rangers radio panel, and after taking valued advice from my pal Neely D at the SPFL, I must take exception to the Martin last night's show. Might I point out any approach made to any widows was totally innocent. The judge himself said as much. You may leave court with not one blemish on your good name. The fact that 8 of the charges were dropped and the remaining 16 were not proven endorses this statement. I should expect a full apology live on tonight's show. Skipper.
Oh, Skipper. Well said, Skipper. Oh, well said, Skipper. Oh,
That's
brilliant.
as close as you're getting to an apology, Skipper. There you go. Brilliant. I did
Well
laugh this
done.
morning.
That's brilliant. Well, that's superb. Well done, Skip. Well done. And if you want an apology, I'll give you an apology, Skipper. I don't know anything about it, but I'll apologise anyway.
Anyway, so people want to join us. What's the number, Bridge?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Or join us at Skype at rangersradio.online. We brought in the call by the one and only Old School Blue, who's working tirelessly away in the background, working the technicals. Right, Bridge, I think we had a statement for the club that broke tonight.
Yes, I've got a statement here. You want me to read it out for you?
Yes,
Or you-
yes, well, you can do it, mate. Are you all right, 1 to 7? You
No
usually get
bother,
stuck
no
after
bother. I'll
5.
just read the whole lot. It's right. It's all the way through.
But
Okay.
you're right, it's 7. You usually get stuck after 5.
Well, let's see how we go on then.
All right, okay.
Right, okay, statement from the club. Rangers, alongside other Scottish football clubs, have submitted a members' requisition to the SPFL. The requisition requests that a general meeting of all 42 member clubs be held to consider calling an independent investigation into number one. There's 7 points, sorry. Number one, the preparation and content of the briefing note and paper sent to member clubs with the resolution. 2, the decision to announce the result of an incomplete vote before all votes had been received. 3, the decision to disregard the vote submitted by Dundee FC and allow them to vote a second time. 4, the appropriateness of communication between the executive of the SPFL and other football governing bodies in relation to completing season 2019-20. The interaction of SPFL executives with clubs during the voting process, including the disclosure to clubs of how other member clubs have voted. 6, compliance by the SPFL's directors with the statutory and common law duties owed by them in relation to the resolution. And number 7, any other matters which the independent expert considers relevant. Rangers say we have received the SPFL's open letter referring to the narrow scope of their investigation, which alarmingly failed to examine the wider and fundamental issues. Rangers have made it very clear that we have a dossier of evidence which we will make readily available to an independent investigation. End of statement.
We'll be joined by Port Bear. Evening, Port Bear.
Evening, mate. How we doing?
Mate, have you been running up the stairs there? Have you been out of breath, or were you busy? Did we interrupt you in the middle or something?
Don't you go into that boy? He's not like that.
No, if it was
Well,
in the
he is,
middle or
really.
something, we can phone him back in 2 minutes, mate.
Aye, well, do you think it'll take
2
2 minutes?
minutes. 2 minutes.
That's a long time for him.
It's a world record. How are you guys?
All right, mate. All right.
Good. Interesting statement. Actually, I'm going to start by saying, when you sort of handpick investigation team, look at alleged wrongdoings by a board, but you asked them to examine, a particular thing. I don't agree with the way it's been done, mate. What I think they've done is they've examined the point about the Dundee thing, the vote. SPL claim examination has identified, no improper behaviour. Right, that might be true, mate, on that point in case. But what about the other stuff Rangers have been asked? Or Rangers have asked?
They've no,
looked at?
as far as I can make out, they haven't interviewed, and it was Deloitte's, mate. That was the same Deloitte's who've got links to a certain club that play in the East End of Glasgow.
That's
Just
right.
pure coincidence. The same Deloitte's who were fined, I know, 4.2 million for not doing their job properly in the past. So, you know what I mean? The famous statement was made as you don't get somebody to mark your own homework. It looks as if what they've done, they've not marked their own homework. They've got some of their mates in to mark their homework, which is just the same, innit?
Aye, exactly.
That's what it looks like, yeah, it does that.
So it's taking away again the independent part. It's taking away, fairness, integrity. It's taking away it all because it's It's like their own school headmaster making sure their grades are all right for that, that school. You know what I mean? It's shocking, mate. Absolutely shocking. Rangers have been demanding an independent investigation, and that means somebody impartial, Oxley, totally impartial. No sides, no links to Rangers, no links to any club in the SPFL. A sole guy, team that's going to come in and investigate and do it right, and not just investigate the case in point. We want to know what's happened over a period of time. As Rangers said, they've got a dossier of evidence. So, but obviously they're not going to hand that to the SPFL. They want a team of impartial investigators to look at it. And that's all it's going to be done fair, mate. Or we're just going to become the whipping boys again. So they need to really, again, stick with it.
There's a few interesting points for me, Bridge, but number 6, the compliance with SPFL's directors with statutory and common law duties owed by them in relation to the resolution. Now, the SPFL is a business, and I imagine it'll be a limited company, Bridge.
Oh, indeed. Yeah.
So, if you're part of that on the board and directors, etc., you're tied legally to what you can do, refer to votes. There's company law.
There's something no right with the whole thing, of course. And the Rangers appear to have something, and they're taking their next step, which is call a big meeting with all 42 clubs. I don't know what kind of majority Rangers expect.
Are you guessing that so far we know that potentially we've been backed by Hearts and Aberdeen? I don't know that, but I'm surmising a lot.
Yeah, I think you'll find Hibs will probably back them as well, to be honest.
Right.
But all I'm saying is that when it comes to these 42 and they're going to discuss this, we have to just remember, no matter what happens, the vast majority of those clubs actually voted for this.
But you've also got to remember, Bridge, if there's been seen to be doing any wrongdoing in company law, it doesn't matter what your opinion is.
Well, of course, I understand, pal. I understand. Just meaning, if we're going to have a discussion with these 42 clubs regarding this and the thing about common law and compliance, I don't know if these other clubs would support Rangers in any way, shape or form.
I don't know if it'll be about support, mate. But it'll be about if there's evidence of any wrongdoing, if there's any law breaking in company law, the people who done it allegedly will have to be found answerable to it because they're governed by a set of rules.
If you like you're touched on there, mate, if you're governed by a set of rules and the law's been broken, it's not about taking sides, mate. Law has to be upheld. So it's not a case of, we'll vote for you, but we're not going to. If Rangers produce facts, mate, that wrongdoing has been done, the law's been broken, then all these teams will probably be just as peed off as we are, because then the facts are showing that there's law being broken and someone has to be answerable to breaking the law, mate. It's as simple as that. You don't go to court and you broke the law, you're getting done. That's it. That's just it. So you don't get a chance to say, if it goes to a vote or doesn't go to a vote. It doesn't matter about the majorities. If facts are, if they've broke the law, they're done, mate, and that's it.
I think I can't disagree. Nobody could disagree with you with that. But what I'm trying to say, and I don't know if I'm saying the right words. What I'm trying to say is that, irrespective of what happens, there's somewhere along the line we're going to have a meeting with all 42 clubs to see if the information that Rangers have put forward is strong enough to ask for and vote for, shall we say, an independent investigation. I don't know if there's enough, shall we say, boxes to tick there for Rangers. I hope there is, obviously, and it's, to me that sounds very sensible, eminently sensible, and we could see some of the things that they're pointing out are, in fact, what we see has been done. We think's been done anyway. So yes, I'm all for it, 100% behind them. Go for it. I'm just wondering when it gets to the other clubs. So forgive me, I get a wee bit suspicious.
I don't think this is about the other clubs, Bridge.
I'm trying to say to you now, they have got to vote. It doesn't matter the points on it.
This might be that you have to put the evidence to applaud, mate. It might be nothing to do with the other clubs.
Oh, well, I'm thinking they're going to 42 clubs.
Yeah, but I don't think you're realising about corporate law, Bridge. It's not about football clubs and vote. If Rangers have got information, and it's an if Rangers get information that they broke corporate law, it's nothing to do with other clubs.
Yeah, sure. Okay, on that one point, they're mentioning that. But then in general, what they're saying is the requisition is to request that a general meeting of all 42 member clubs be held to consider calling an independent investigation into all these points. And that's what I'm meaning. I don't know whether they would have enough votes behind them to do that. Jesus, if they don't, if the clubs don't vote for Rangers or for this now, there's something seriously wrong in Scottish football. 100%, something seriously wrong. And that means one of two things, that Rangers are totally out in the cold. And that's what it might end up being. And that's what I'm fearing. We end up painting myself into a corner.
Rich, we're out in our limb anyway, mate.
Yes, of course, pal,
We're out in the cold anyway. If it's right, sometimes you've got to take up the cudgel, and this is the time for us to take up the cudgel.
I'm 100%. I'm at the front of the queue, right?
Yeah.
I'm at the front of the queue with them. All I'm saying is that if Rangers, at the very first statement, the first sentence is, alongside other Scottish football clubs, right? Now, some of them, I don't know how many it is, it's sort of done that, but you could bet your boots that they might not, at the end of it, they might not end up doing it. And that's all I'm saying. I just don't want my club to be hung out. That's all. I don't want it to be hung out by other clubs. Okay, hang myself. Yes, pal.
I don't know if you agree with me, guys, I don't think Rangers would be making a statement like this, asking for a general meeting with all 42 clubs, saying they've got a dossier information, if they weren't 100% positive, that they had enough to go forward and show, the rules have been broken, i.e. the law's been broken. So, like Oxjar's touching on, it doesn't matter, where your allegiances lie. The facts that Rangers will bring forward, or the investigating will bring forward, is these people have broken the law, so the law has to be upheld, and these people have to be punished. And that's just a straight facts. I can't see Rangers making that statement, mate, and going out on a limb, as you said, putting themselves right out there, being the ones that took up the cudgel, said, we want a meeting, and I want this dealt with properly. I just don't think they would do that, mate.
Can I just say to you, I'm not being funny when I say it, twice Rangers have mentioned that they wanted an independent investigation. Twice they asked for it from the SPFL board, and twice they're totally ignored. Not even they haven't written back to say, no, you're not getting it.
So have you got
Club's
Club's 1872
I've got Club 1872 here, pal, yes.
Let's look at that, because we know that there's a lot of communication between the board and the Club 1872. So it's quite lengthy. If you don't mind staying with, we'll get a paragraph at a time, Bridge.
Right, go for it. Do you want me to start?
Yeah,
right, okay. I'll do it one. What do you want? You want to do two? We'll do one and you. Me and you, me and you.
I'm all right. I can count 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm all right.
Okay, but okay, here we go. Club 1872 member update and season tickets. We are aware of the frustration felt by supporters, not just of Rangers but many other Scottish clubs, over the refusal of the SPFL to properly address the serious allegations made against their executive team and chairman over the conduct of the vote to potentially end the 2019-20 Scottish Premiership season prematurely. It is clear that the SPFL strategy is to bury their heads in the sand and refuse to address the serious publicly articulated problems with the way in which the voting process was conducted and the information given to clubs as part of the voting process. These issues have not just been raised by Rangers, but by a number of other clubs across all leagues in Scotland. As a result of this intransigence, the matter can now be addressed only by an independent inquiry or in a court of law.
We would like to assure supporters that despite the refusal of Neil Doncaster, Rod McKenzie and Murdoch McLennan, I wonder what they relate, people, to address these issues voluntarily, options remain open to Rangers to make progress without their cooperation. We know from the ongoing and detailed discussion with the club they are actively pursuing those options. It is quite correct that care is taken to do that and in order to provide the best chance of a successful outcome. So,
next, at the very least, Scottish football supporters deserves decisions taken about the future of the Scottish game to be made in a transparent and competent way. That has not been the case in this debacle, and it reflects badly on the entire game in this country. We hope that the other Scottish clubs will support Rangers in cleaning up the way our game is governed when the time comes. If not there, every club will suffer the repercussions as sponsors and supporters alike turn away from the game.
We've also been in close discussion with Rangers about the status of season ticket renewals and the unique situation created by the ongoing restrictions and uncertainty over the COVID-19 pandemic. We know the club is working extremely hard to provide the best possible options for supporters with regards to purchasing a season ticket for next season, including payment options, deadline and payment methods. Clearly, season ticket revenues are crucial to the club, and we are sure supporters will do whatever they can within their own personal circumstances to back the club financially through these uncertain times. We aim to provide supporters with as much detail as possible on their options both prior to and following the launch of season tickets, which we expect to take place within the next 7 days. We will update our members and their wider support on this again when we have further information.
In the meantime, please continue to direct any questions to info@club1872.co.uk. We have longer than normal response times due to the personal circumstances of our volunteer board members at this time. But please rest assured that all the emails that are being read, and although we may not be able to respond to them all individually, we will raise pertinent issues with the club and work these responses into future updates where and when able. End of statement.
All right, we'll part the season ticket bit. I'm sure we started a wee bit about that discussion last night, and I'm sure we'll come back to it over the next few days.
Yep.
Port Bear, take it they've been talking to the board and they're saying this is a process we're walking through with this SPFL board.
Exactly, mate. Club 1872 do a lot for the supporters. They're probably the closest link any supporters group has straight to the board. They'll be fully aware and briefed constantly on where we are at these stages. And let me tell you, they won't allow, see if this is not going the right way or not going quick enough, or club meetings that don't think Rangers take it far enough. I think, they've always got a bit of clout, mate. I don't know a lot about them, but they've always got a bit of clout regarding the board. And I'd like to, hope they're going to continue, not to force Rangers, but I'm going to say I'm going to use the word force, but to force Rangers to take this right to the bitter end. Because put Rangers, Celtic aside, Oxford, Bridgeman, this is about Scottish football. It's not just Rangers that's getting done here. For years and years and years, it's looking like new. I'm going to use the word alleged, it's only my opinion as well. But every club in Scotland have been cheated and, treated unfairly by the SPFL. And I think that's what's going to come out.
When you have a cabal, mate, and they're throwing them crumbs after table, that's what they've done, mate.
Aye, that's what I'm getting at. So, this is what I think is going to come out. And I hope that they're going deep, and I hope every club that's took the crumbs and breadcrumbs and the scraps after table, I hope every one of them are named and shamed. Because until that happens, mate, Scottish football is going to be under a microscope. It's going to have a big question mark above it, about, the integrity of the league, try to entice players, try to entice managers to come to your league, because, if you're a Rangers, or a young up-and-coming coach, and you get a chance to come and manage Rangers in your future, you're going to come with that thing in your mind. And Stephen Gerrard's finding it the hard way. How can I win this league fairly? How can I take this team on when they've got everybody in their back pocket, including other SPFL clubs? You know what I mean? It's a very, very hard thing, mate. It's a very, very hard thing. And
you've also got to deal with the fact that a certain club got the referees to strike, so the referees are intimidated, yeah?
That's what I'm saying, mate. It's a very, very, very hard league to win, right? As it takes, as in footballing terms. But there's more in footballing terms here at Playoffs, and it could put future managers, young managerial stars, and experienced managers to come to Rangers and take up the role of our club to fight the good fight and win in football, because they're not winning in football next year, as we know. There's a lot of dark arts going on in this league, and it has to stop.
All right, so people want to give their couple of statements there. Might take a lot of information, but what's the number, Bridge?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Or joins at Skype on rangersradio.online. Maybe brought in the call with the one and only Old School Blue. And you can have your say. You can talk to Bridgeman. Bridgeman's doing relationships tonight. Port Bear's doing cooking. And I think I'm doing travel. So if you want to phone in, talk about anything Rangers related, make your comments on the statement. I think you want my own personal view, Bridge?
Absolutely, pal. Absolutely.
I think every time the SPFL move a pawn, mate, we're either taking that pawn or we're making an attacking move on the board. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
And that's the way I see it. And at the moment, I think we're ahead in the chess game. I really do. I think we've got them on the back foot. What I will say, I need to congratulate them, but the SPF board, Port Bear. Yeah?
Yeah.
For having an internal investigation and putting the information out there. Some of their mates that are involved in the cabal have been doing an internal investigation for years, and we've never heard anything from them.
It's a good point, mate. But how fair is the internal investigation when it's been done by? Like
I never said it was fair. I just said the fact that I never said that at all. I never said it was right. Pick up the sarcasm, mate. Pick up the sarcasm.
My apologies, mate. My apologies.
Bridgeman, have a word with him.
I don't know. That man's a shocker, by the way. He's just a shocker, you know.
It's just sees it's unfolding, Ox, but in the more I'm reading, and you know, you do your prep for the show and stuff, and you're reading more and you're learning, you know, about all the stuff going on behind and the boards and the referees, other clubs in their pockets. You're like, you know, what chance do we stand? What chance do we stand to have fairness? Not just our club, every club, Ox, I want to keep saying it. Not just our club, every club in Scotland. What chances have we all got if they've got everybody in their back pocket? None, mate. So it has to stop. That can't happen. It really can't happen. You know, I'm going to touch on. Did you see what the Dutch League have done today, Oxdear?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll come to that, mate. I'm sure we'll come to that. One, you can't go. You can't have two subjects at one. You've got to remember who Bridge is. No, he's not being fair there. Bridge is. He want to open up two subjects.
He runs away, doesn't he?
Put it out there, Port Bear. Put it out there. What the Dutch League done, the House of Orange done.
You know, in my opinion, they've done. I thought what Juventus said did was, you know, pretty spectacular, announcing they didn't want the league unless they won it fairly. But the Dutch League has now been suspended. It's finished. No titles are getting handed out. Ajax will be the Champions League. AZ Alkmaar will have the second qualifying position, and Feyenoord will go into Europa. And that's it. But there's no titles. But they've gave the positions of the European positions out. And I think that's absolutely fantastic. League over, game finished. They've basically declared there no football at all. That's it, done right now. And I think it will not be far behind before UEFA, maybe the English Premier League, do the exact same thing next. And hopefully our board will have common sense and follow suit, mate, because I think that's absolutely fantastic. What's happened over there in Holland there. I mean, they've banned all major public events to the 1st of September because of the pandemic. So it's fantastic, mate. Fantastic.
Oh, it's not fantastic, mate, that's happened.
No,
what they've done is they've made a call, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I think sometimes there's a lot more common sense, and you get for a country like Holland, and sometimes we get caught up in individual politics, and it becomes a mess sometimes. But look, it depends what happens with the government when people will be allowed to play. And then you've got not just the UK government, we've got the Mickey Mouse mob and in Holyrood. I don't know how they control something that's a national event, but there you go. But so that'll dictate when we can go out to play. If you look, I mean, I read one today that you're not going to be able to get a haircut for 6 months. You know, so I don't know what Bridge will be like, what Fox will be like in 6 months' time.
Well, I can assure you one thing. My gorgeous wife has cut my hair last weekend.
Oh, did she?
And she made a fine job of it, I must admit.
Right, okay. Was it a number one or a number two bowl?
No, I'm not quite as into the wood as that, but she did a cracking job. Really happy with it. I was very worried about it, and there was a few fights and arguments. I was told quite categorically, I'm the one with the scissors here. Shut your face. And I just shut my face and got on with it. So
as long as she doesn't get Steve McLean and Yul Brynner mixed up.
That's exactly. Right. I did. She mentioned that. She says, "Don't worry, I know who Yul Brynner was."
We've been joined by Albert. Evening, Albert.
Evening, troops. How you all doing? You all fine?
All the better for hearing you.
I'm not going to rant tonight.
Why not?
I'm just going to give them enough rope. They're hanging themselves nicely, mate. I'm just enjoying this. This is good fun now.
Did you hear my analogy? The club's got them on the board. We're ahead of the game. They move a pod, and we've got 2 moves to make. Yeah.
Definitely, mate. Definitely. They're head for the jail. That's what they're heading for. Put it this way: see, they know they anything to hide, and they knew they should have thrown the doors open and invited anybody in to have a look. Opened up all the computers, opened all the filing drawers, and say, "Have a look. Investigate what you want." That's what they should have done if they had nothing to hide. But all this usual carry on, deny, deflect, deny. Oh, we've hired a company. I mean, did anybody know they hired this mob to come in and do an investigation? The first I heard about it was a day.
Yep.
So they've actually got them in, got it done, writ it out. He's ran his eye over it. Oh, you take that out, put that in, take that away, and then they've released it on the one day. So they did. You want to believe that if you want. No, I mean that's just corrupt itself. And then I see some of the boys have investigated and found out that they're actually connected with that scum mob as well. So there you go. But there the Dutch done what we've been saying for day one. It's no null and void. I've said it should be null and void. But after a date, so you take it to a date and go after that, it's null and void. No relegation, no champions, no nothing. That's it. Move on to next season, whatever that's going to be. That's all we've been saying. If we can play it, preferably we play it on the park. But we've got to get to a date. But as usual, they've done their usual skullduggery, and all this has come out of that. The whole lot of this is behind that. But anyway, it might end up a good thing for us. So they might have just pushed it one step too far this time, because that fat Lywell's been away with us for years. He's been taking them, ripping the pee right out of them and treating them like idiots. He's been away with it. He's getting away with it. Never gets challenged. Blah blah blah. So, as far as I'm concerned, this might be the bridge too far for them. I hope so, anyway.
The fact of the matter is, Albert, I mean, there's more important things right now than football, isn't there? You know, there's lives, there's this pandemic. You know, for me, it's not a hard decision. But Dutch did today, to me right now, there's more important things in football. Football should be the last thing in people's minds. But unfortunately, because the way our football has been run, you know, it's highlighting it alongside this world pandemic, which is a shame.
But it'd be good fun to have some of them on the beaches of Dunkirk. I'm all right. I mean, they'd have been away in the boats and left everybody behind, you know what I mean?
So what do you think of the club, Albert? Obviously, you've read the statements for Club 1872 and the club, I take it, yeah?
I think the response for the club and the response for 1882 is fantastic. They're not going overboard. They're keeping it all in check. They're just saying the right things, but they're only telling the truth and asking pertinent questions that should be asked. That's all they're doing. They're no wanting to rant and rave. And I mean, the way I go and sometimes, you know what I mean, there's no like that. It sounds educated, controlled, measured responses to everything, and serious questions getting asked. That's all they're doing. There's nothing wrong with Rangers doing, nothing wrong with 1872 doing, nothing whatsoever. But the way in the papers and all that, and the media is getting twisted into something horrible, and so we're asking the questions, and supporters are asking the questions that the media should be asking, but they're not. So you've got to ask you're complicit in this, by the way. The user terrible, by the way. That Daily Record, the high moral, how far down the high moral table or the moral table have they slipped, by the way? They must be in the relegation zone now, that Daily Record, because that's disgraceful what they're up to. That really is disgraceful.
Don't buy, don't click, don't read, mate, unless people copy and paste it, mate, because then that's the biggest way you can hurt them, mate. I can't believe it.
Oh.
But we spent most of our life when we were abroad on holiday. If you got a record that was 2 days out of date, you would read it, mate. But now I wouldn't touch it, mate.
That's me as well. I get brought up all my life. I don't buy any tabloids, especially the Record. I don't buy any of that, and I don't pay my TV licence now. And I paid my TV licence all my life, by the way. But this is the first year, and from now to the day they screw a lid on me, I will never buy a TV licence again in my life, by the way. I will not pay for people like Stuart and that other wee trumpet that runs at BBC. No chance. No more. Done with it. So if I'm running away for the whole lot, as you probably tell you. The only thing I'm going to do, now I've set on record that I will no support this SPFL or SFA anymore. I'm done with Scottish football regarding what they're up to if they win that Mobby title. But what I will tell you is I will support Rangers to the day I die, and I will be putting my contribution into Rangers, what I'd normally put in. I'll no hurt Rangers. No way am I going to hurt Rangers at all.
Does it make them culpable, all Bear, Bridgeman, Oxshire? Does it make them, all these ones in the know? We all know they're in the know. Are they culpable?
Well, when you see the I'll use the word language. I can't think of anything better. But if you see the language that Michael Stewart and English are using, mate, it makes you wonder. Albert and then Bridge.
Absolutely, man. They're the first two rats down the chain. You know what I mean? Of the boat, the sinking ship. They're the first two rats.
But their rhetoric is, I'm being supportive of what Rangers are doing, which seems bizarre.
That's the same, because they know the ship they were on sinking, so they're getting off. And what they're doing is using Rangers as a vehicle to get off. Get off that ship. We're no part of that. But you were part of it for years. The whole media has been part of this for years. And they need to, as Port Baird said, they're culpable for it. I don't care what anybody says. They're all part of it. I mean, that record is condemning Rangers now for long enough about, okay, it was sectarian singing, it was this, it was that, it was the next thing. Just, it is all the time. They were selling papers for over 100 years, by the way, on bigotry and sectarianism and hatred. And it was hatred at first between the old firm, then it went on to sectarianism in the 60s and 70s, and then it just kept going on like that. Now, they've been living on this for years. All of a sudden, now they don't want to deal with that anymore. We want to clean our act up. No, I'm sorry. You've been part of it. So you need to put your hands up and say, we're a big part of this. We need to change ourselves. Now they've got the chance with this sort of situation we're in at the moment. What are they doing? Run for cover. Helping them. Listen, when Rangers put their resolution in, it didn't get rejected. It got booted out. Sorry, mate.
No.
I'm not
worried about me. I'm worried about you. You've started.
So
I know, I'm terrible. Somebody ought to come out here and put a wee bit of lead in my ear, by the way.
I think, Bridgeman, I'll be honest with you, I think he needs some bromide in his tea.
I've heard of it. I heard of bromide, please.
We've been joined by Andy for Leeds. Evening, Andy.
Hi, how you doing, boys? You all okay? Yes.
You're right, your good self.
Aye, so just ticking there. I thought it was Thursday today, right enough, but it's bonus Friday, but there again, you know. But,
who told you that? Was it your son-in-law told you it was Thursday?
Oh, no, hey, listen, don't worry, I've told you what's happening to him, don't worry. We'll get onto that when it happens, listen, you've been spot on all night. I'm with you. I think I like point 7. We've got the dossier and we're coming for you. And we're not going to let it go. I genuinely believe, that they're running scared now. I really think we've got them with some. There's no way we're opening up and not going for them now, and so we should. We just get right into them, let them sort of. See, they've had this. They've been tearing us up for years now, right? We were weak with the so-called guys that was running the club before. since we've got these guys in that care about our team, now I think we've just waited till they've slipped. And they've got two blasé and all that, and they've slipped, and we've got them. And I think it's time to go for them. On the Dutch side of it, with the league, what can you say about that? They're not bothered about any league, where they are, point between the two top teams. They're just saying, humanity, we've got to survive. Fantastic. You know, that's the way I see it.
Old Bridge was looking for the Dutch story today. He googled finger in a dike. You ought to have seen some of the films he got.
Very good.
You want to eat your haircut, Bridge. You're in the race, behave yourself.
Oh dear. Can I just say, I thought that the Dutch decision regarding null and void is probably the best decision that we've heard. I can't remember hearing anyone else doing anything like that, but I think that's eminently sensible. And every division was getting it, wasn't it? They've done the same thing for all their divisions, so the whole season null and void.
Bridge. See if it goes to a vote and that scum get the title. Well, as far as I'm concerned, all that Champions League money should be split amongst the Premier League clubs now, because that's not right. You can't just vote yourself £20 million if you get into the group stages. That can't be right. That just can't be right. That's totally unfair.
Correct.
I certainly wouldn't disagree with you there. I just don't know how that club across the city can sort of think about these things like that. Look, we keep saying that we're in the middle of a pandemic, and the truth is the whole of Europe's like this. And sooner or later, it's going to start to ease. But as it starts to ease, we're going to be left with the same stain as we've had for a wee while. And that's our whole game appears to be set up for the benefit of one club, and it might be maybe because they've got, shall we say, the strongest team. I could understand that, but no, not the way things are going. I'm afraid that the way the politics are running through the game, and the way they've got the referees, and nobody can tell me that we haven't been, shall we say, given bad decisions against us all through the season, and certainly some shockers, absolute shockers. It's cost us games, and I'm sure that there are a number of points that they're ahead of us now, obviously because of our own sheer bad play. But seriously, there's been a whole load of things going on with that club, and it's going to keep going. It's going to keep going.
I see even Mr. Clancy came out and admitted they should have never gave a goal at Parkhead, which was a bit of a shock to me, you know. They might make another game. You know what I mean?
He couldn't have got it. It must be a late payment, by the way. Must be a late payment. That's how he's...
What's happened, mate? What I heard, mate, and I'm no one for spreading rumours or stories, as you know, Albert, but what I heard was that they've had to cancel the Player of the Year dinner, and he was up for it.
He's no happy. He's no happy.
If that result was different next year, he wouldn't have said nothing.
That's another point you made earlier on, Ox, but Port made it about the referees. The referees are intimidated in Scotland. There's no getting away from it. They're intimidated, and the results show you what's going on up here. The amount of yellow and red cards that scum get. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous what's happening up here. You cannot tell me that a club can win 10 trophies in the trot and nobody raises an eyebrow and going, wait a minute, how did that happen? I mean, some of the best teams that have been in the history of football have never even came close to doing anything like that. But it happens in Scotland and nobody bats an eyelid. Not even one person's turned around and says, that's not really good for Scottish football.
Let's really be honest about it. An average side, mate, and you see that when they get scalped all over the place in Europe, don't you? Absolutely. Anyway, we've been joined by George Logan. Evening, George.
How you doing, boys? All right?
Hey, George, how are you doing yourself?
Sorry for coming so late. I was trying to get in for a while there. I don't know what's happening there. But is this, Ox, do you think this is I like the statement today, Ox. I'm sick of people saying there's evidence here, there's no evidence here, and things like that. I like the statement for a club. It's quite it's hard hitting if you ask me. Is this us starting to fight back now, Ox? Is this us?
I believe so, mate. I believe so. We're on the board. We're moving with pieces, and and we're ahead of the game at the moment with this issue, mate. What I think's happened that's helped us is they've had so many old goals with this issue, mate. It's been handy to us in the plate.
We probably weren't in a position to maybe fight back, like you say. Somebody's on the board in New York's. We've waited to get shoot at the right time, if you like, fire at the right time. Things are happening in Scottish football now, and maybe this is the time for us to maybe. I keep on saying I think we've got to get to the top of winning trophies in that game before you can do things. But maybe this is us starting to get back to the top again and maybe get a control in this again. Because like you say, there's clubs been doing things for years and just getting away with it. And now I think that's a good statement for a club, a strong statement, a strong statement intent.
What we're picking up today, George, they did an internal investigation, the SPFL. They never interviewed any of the board members, and they never interviewed any of the clubs, or even attempted to interview any of the clubs. What kind of investigation's that?
Well, that's right. And the thing is, I mean, the one that got me, it was, and I didn't want to go on about it too much, when a vote's released before everybody's actually made their voting things like that. I mean, that's just crazy stuff. See if it is all fitting well and people have got to stay in place. I still think the people that run Scottish football aren't the fit for the Joe box. I've always said that, and I really do believe that. If there's no fiddling going on, that's fair enough, but I believe there is. And even if there's no, I think certain folks should be removed from Scottish football to let it go on.
You know, it was an electronic audit they did of who did what, when the texts were sent out, when the communication came, when the emails came in. Was there any phone calls at odd hours of the night, kind of thing, you know? And based on what, and I don't doubt for a minute that they are one of the biggest auditing companies in the world, but it's only a pure audit, right? And probably highlighting only about Dundee. You know, was there any subsequent talks and so on and so forth? And where was this? The vote? Well, the vote was in the spam or whatever they call their security area. You know, you learn that when you first get with computers, don't you? If you don't receive an email, you look in your spam folder to see if it's in there. You know, and there it was apparently, but it took them hours to get that. And in between times, of course, they've had discussions with them in some way. So I don't think that auditing company will have interviewed any club about the content of any discussions, particularly Dundee. I would doubt very much if they've spoken to Dundee. So I think there's only one thing they've been doing, and that's looking at electronic, join the dots, you know, what went there, what was said, or what was texted, you know. So the context of text and emails, that's all I have.
It was the sheer narrow-mindedness of the investigation, Bridgeman, you know, and they've actually missed the fundamentals that Rangers probably asked to look at. They've looked at what they want to look at and says, right, that's it, game over, we've done an investigation.
If somebody's already pointed out, if you're hiring a company in to audit you set the remit what you want them to audit.
Exactly.
So you tell them, just audit that.
When Jimmy checks his own painting, he says, I made a great job of it. Anybody else that's seen it will like, they get somebody to do that. But when Jimmy checks it, he's made a good job of it. He's going to kill me when he sees me.
Hello?
Listen,
that's him coming on the phone to you now.
Oh, no. We'll be joined by a caller, evening caller, just before we go.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, mate, what's your name?
Jim Bob.
You get on. What's your point, mate?
I'm just in a game with a saying there.
About Jimmy's painting?
Aye.
About the inquiry, or the so-called inquiry.
Aye, I don't think they should get it.
Who should get what?
I don't think Celtic should get the league.
Right, okay. I mean, they've not won the league, you know. As far as I'm concerned.
They've not won it. They're knackered, isn't it?
Well, you can't help bad luck, but this is a unique circumstances, and the finishing point, you know. You there, Jim?
I can hear the game in the background.
Aye.
You got the show in the background, Jim?
Aye.
Can you
Where
can
you
you
from?
turn
Where
the
you
show
from,
up in the
Jim?
background?
Where you from, Jim? Where you from, mate?
Pollock.
All right.
Oh,
Aye. I work at Ibrox.
All right,
all
mate.
right,
Oh,
cool.
well done, Jim. Well done. Somewhere
Can I work for a better team?
somewhere high up in the boardroom or something.
I wish I was.
Listen, Jim, your
I'd
phone
be
does
spending our money.
your phone does right at the end of our show, mate, right? But listen,
that's
don't
no
be afraid
problem.
to phone in again at our time and we have a few more minutes to chat to you, yeah?
Aye, no problem. No problem.
All right, mate.
We are the
Listen,
people.
thanks for the call, brother.
Right, no problem.
Cheers, mate.
Here's Jim.
Bridgeman, we've reached that time of the evening. In fact, we're a wee bit over, so we're looking for double time.
That's not a bad shout, by the way, double time, I'll tell you. But what can I say? Can I just say to all the boys, to all the Rangers fans all over the world, in particular Rangers fans on here, on Rangers Radio, every single one is, we heard our conversations tonight, and we know the club are just desperate for us to help them. And we need to keep going for them. So everybody, keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers really need us. They really do. Keep it going.
All right, we'll be back tomorrow night, which we know is unusual, but during this lockdown, and when everybody's locked in, we'll have a show tomorrow night between 9 and 10. And I'm sure we'll have the same subjects on the table, and we'll get the reaction from the rest of Scottish football maybe tomorrow and some of the press. Thanks to Albert. Thanks to Jim Boy who phoned in there. Thanks to George Logan. Thanks to Andy for Leeds. Always a pleasure. Thanks to Port Bear, Bridgeman, all School Blue doing the technicals, everybody in the lobby, all Magpies doing well in there tonight. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 9 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, all School Blue.
I've sailed the wide Atlantic, crossed the broad Pacific shore. I've sailed around the stormy capes, I've heard the parties roar. I fly the Indian Ocean, I've sailed the China Sea. But there's a sea back home in Scotland means more than all the rest to me. It's the blue, yes, the blue sea of thy brow. It's the greatest sight that I have ever seen. It's the blue, yes, the blue sea of thy brow. And it happens when the orange beat the green. No more I'll sail the seven seas, no more I'll ever roam. No more I'll feel the urge again, I'm back where I belong. At 3 o'clock each Saturday, I'll join a happy throng with Rangers banners all around. We'll proudly sing this song. It's the blue, yes, the blue sea of thy brow. It's the greatest sight that I have ever seen. It's the blue, yes, the blue sea of thy brow. And it happens when the orange beat the green. It's the blue, It's the blue sea of eyebrows. It's the greatest sight that I have ever seen. It's the blue sea of eyebrows.